accept my defeat.
You hate me, I hate me too. La 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 la. It's a compromise. You hate me, I hate me too. La 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 la. It's a compromise. La 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 la. It's a compromise. It's a compromise. Brought you home. It's the same feeling that took you away. 'Cause first the calm becomes a storm. So tell me why you fight so hard. And baby, I'll be by your side tonight. You hate me, I hate me too. La 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 la. It's a compromise. You hate me, I hate me too. La 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 la. It's a compromise. La 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 la. It's a compromise. La 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 la. It's a compromise. It's a compromise. It's a compromise. It's a compromise. It's a compromise.
It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. It costs that much cause I don't have superpowers. So you need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. You need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours.
You're welcome.
Somebody coughing up a lung over here. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another Saturday night, the best after party this side of whatever your favorite town is. I think all the other shows are starting to wrap up, maybe a few stragglers. It's all good. Don't forget, if you are new, please do us a favor. Obey the demonic chicken. Please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, this chicken will come to your house and may never leave. So, we really need you to adhere to those rules because we do not control that chicken. That chicken is the devil. So, without further ado, bring in Miss Jimmy. Miss Jimmy, what's going on now?
Not much. Hanging out, chilling, coughing, getting high before the show.
Right on. We got a new thing going on around these parts here.
Yeah.
We Miss Jimmy's going to be joining me on Saturday nights now instead of Friday nights. So, yeah, that's pretty good. That's good for her. It's good for me. It's good for all of us. Because we ran the numbers. It turns out it seems like there's more people who watch the show on Saturday nights than they do Friday nights. So we had to get our eye candy some more exposure. So
I just needed a day break.
She does. She works her ass off. Like Monday through Friday, you do a 4-hour show, and then you clip up the show and put up the clips. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy time.
With the trolls in the comments section afterwards.
Right? Although some people are just not worth dealing with, but I understand sometimes you gotta put somebody in their place, when they act in a fool,
Yeah,
you gotta say, look, you gotta drop the hammer. Right on. Before we shout out the chat, let's check out the chickadees, see what's going on. Jimmy, you noticed there was a light on there. Yeah, I don't think the chickens like that too much. Those ones down below are just kind of got their backs to it, not really into the whole sun, tanning bed type situation there. This is Chicken City on YouTube, so be sure to check out Chicken City. It's a great stoner channel. Get on there, just watch chickens, get high. People in the chat are talking about aliens and UFOs and shit like that's usually a fun time. So yeah, I dig it. It's right there in my wheelhouse, as they say. So we got some visitors here that are showing up. Oh, and a special announcement. I'll tell you that in just a second. So first off, anybody on Rockfin? We got 2 people watching on Rockfin. I'm pretty sure I'm one of them. So, but that's okay. whoever else is watching on Rockfin, rock on. You can comment. It's fine. We won't bite. Everybody's here. We got the whole Hee Haw gang. We got Brandy. She's here. And Yona and Anthony. Les Bones, one of our producers, is here. Good to see all y'all. We got Miguel. And John Kemper's here. Dingo's here. Willie Bragg hanging out. Good to see you, Willie. Willie was a streaming fiend today. He did 2 shows today. So I like to see Willie in the space doing his thing. So be sure to check out Willie Bragg's show on the YouTubers. Yona, did you do a show tonight? You said he was going to do a show, but I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you did or not. We'll see if we can find it. Who else is here? Shaken Bacon. What is going on, Shaken Bacon? Good to see you. Ed Heller's here too.
Long time no see.
I know, right? Shaken Bacon is spillover from Jimmy's what show? So
yeah,
I see Shaken Bacon on there. Pretty good bit. Colin, my buddy Colin is here. Care Bear, good to see you, brother. We'll be talking about you in just a second. Good things for you. Maybe not good things for everybody else, but definitely good things for you. I believe Dolores was here, or may still be with us earlier. Did I say Miguel? If I forgot you, Miguel, I'm sorry. I'll say it again. You have a nice name. We'll say it twice. I believe we got everybody so far. I reckon. Oh, Austin Jones too. Yeah, there she is. Around the World with Brandy and D. I don't know if you got a chance to check out their show, Dolores and Brandy. Give them a like and a subscribe and share out their stuff when you see it too. Those ladies are working pretty hard on the YouTubers there, you know, trying to put out some decent content. So, yeah. So, anywho, how's your week going? How was it? How was the show?
Good. It's going good. Same things, you know, trying to figure out algorithms, trying to figure out things to talk about, listening to other, you know, taking things from the audience. That's been really fun. So learning new things that I had no idea about. I just learned who Hawes is this week. So I've been really kind of deep diving a little bit into the MAGA communism kind of stuff. So that's been interesting. Wow. And then getting into my video games. That's about all I've been doing this week is playing my new video games and doing my show.
Right on. But we're gonna talk about that video game here in a little bit. So, you know, we like to, I'm a gamer too, you know, we like to talk about games and stuff on here. We have a Snipe Hunter in the chat there. Good to see you, Snipe Hunter. And nice. SFT is here too. You know, I actually we took a, I don't know if do you know what snipe hunting is?
Yes.
Yeah. Most people who live out in the country, no matter where you are in the United States, country folks know what snipe hunting means.
I try to do it with my kids and they didn't fall for it.
Well, you got smart kids.
I
know some people that fell for it, and it's pretty funny. So for the unwashed, snipe hunting is snipe is like some imaginary bird that you can only hunt at night. And basically the gist is you go out with some buddies and you spread out. You say, all right, everybody spread out. And when you see something, you know, call out and we'll come over and we'll help you get the snipe, right? So you take the rube that's going with you and you all spread out and hey Shelly, good to see you. And so what do you, and everybody plans to meet back at the truck because they're gonna let the rube go wandering around in the woods looking for this bird. Meanwhile, you're back at the truck, and then you get in the truck and you take off, or the car, you know, depending where you know what you got. And you take off for a little bit, and you're like, hee 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 hee, you're laughing and stuff. And you know, maybe like 20 minutes later, you come back, and then the rube is by the side of the road, all sad face, like.
Aw, yours is a little different than mine. We would put, I think it was, we put rocks in plastic bags and told him if you see it, just hit it with the rock as hard as you can within the bag. And when we got out there, we were like looking around and stuff. And then I was like, it's right there, hit the thing. And they didn't hit anything. They're like, where is it? I don't see anything. And nothing actually happened. So it was the whole like trying to scare them into hitting the thing.
Oh, you mean like you didn't scare him into thinking like I'm deserting you in the woods for the night?
Mm-mm. No, we made them think that there was really snipes in the woods.
Snipes.
And you just couldn't see them because they were like, you know, only I could see them or something. I don't know. They were young. I tried. It didn't work.
Turns out there was a snipe in the woods, and it was the guy who played Blade.
Wesley Snipes.
We're going Wesley Snipes hunting, although that sounds pretty racist. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it that way. This is a comedy show. It's just comedy. It won't hurt you. Velvet Trance is here. Hello, darling. Good to see you. We got a good crowd here. Got about 18 people watching. Recently, I managed to sneak back into enemy lines, back into Facebook, but
oh yeah,
I don't really know what the point is. Ain't nobody watching on Facebook, so it's fine. Anybody watching on Rumble? Nope, nobody there. Everybody's either on Twitch. There's one person on Twitch. Is that you? Are you on Twitch?
No, I'm on YouTube.
There's always like at least there's usually just one person on Twitch. It's always just one person. They never say anything, which is fine. You don't have to comment. You just chill out and enjoy the show. It's fine. SFT wants to know what's your cat's name. That's
Izzy. That's Mama Cat. Her name is Izzy.
That's the mama kitty. She's got that weird bird meow that.
It's so cute. I swear she was raised to talk by birds.
I always liked that when cats, when I had cats, they'd sit in the window and, Les Bones is over on Twitch now. Oh, thanks, buddy. That's funny. The
when
cat
cats sit at the window and they do that thing, it's so fucking cute.
Usually they're just like sitting there chilling, hey Variant, good to see you. They'll be sitting in the window and then they'll see a bird and go like it's like cat Morse code trying to tell you that there's a bird outside, but they can't say it in cat, so they have to say it in Morse code. So they go like they're sending telegrams to over enemy lines.
So cute.
I do love the kitties though. They are sweet though. They're very sweet. So this week we started back Extra Bulla Live. That was Monday, and my buddy Colin Radix Carter, my INN brother from another mother, was on there, and we had a good time. We were talking about education, and we were talking about how shitty politicians are, and that sort of thing. So today there was a thing on Twitter, and normally we don't get into like Twitter drama and shit on here. We usually keep it nice and light around here, but you go after one of my guys like that, then it's like you're going after me, and we gotta say something about it. So in reference to what I'm talking about here, let me see if I can work my elven magic here. I'm going to make sure nothing is open. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. So today on the tweeters, Mike Figueredo, this piece of shit. If I can maybe make this a little bigger. So I don't know if you heard or not. So a federal judge struck down Joe Biden's student debt relief program. Even though I'm pretty sure, and everybody knew that this thing was going to get struck down, because that's the standard MO with these politicians, right? They'll promise you the world, and then it doesn't happen because of some rando. If it's not the parliamentarian, it's like some senator that's a piece of shit or whatever, and they'll go, "Oopsie sauce, we gave it a shot, but oh no." Can't do it. So Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report, he was talking about this, and he sounded like he was shocked that this happened. So he says, "So it's over, we're just fucked." And needless to say, this is one of the most ill-timed, ill-thought about tweets that you could imagine. Because he got ratioed the fuck out of this. I think every time he made a comment on this thread, he got ratioed. So we could just go over some of the fun things, like Joe Shut the fuck up Shitlib says dumb bitch. Yeah, that's about right. But my buddy Colin and our pal Sabby Sab said, we told you this would happen. And She said, Sabby said, yeah, we sure did. And Velvet Trance, aka Cheryl, said, so if you didn't see this coming like all the rest of us did, why should anybody ever listen to you? Right? He's like a political analyst, right? And
Right.
he didn't see this coming. This is like some dumb shit. So anyway, but back up here, so we have Colin says, and Sabby said, we told you so. So here are the replies. So of course, Mike, being the dumb shit that he is, he replied, you dipshits, calling Sabby and Colin dipshits, right? Highly educated people, calling them dipshits. He says, you dipshits know Biden isn't the one who struck down his own student debt relief plan, right? It was a Trump appointed judge. So Colin goes on. I love Colin. Colin is very classy when he's telling somebody to fuck off. You know what I mean? He's like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Sir,
Sir,
this is a Wendy's.
This cat has a PhD in poli-sci and he didn't see this coming. Get the fuck out of here. I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, that goes to show you, like, even with a political science master's degree, you definitely don't know a lot. That's crazy.
You didn't even need
calling them shit libs. Didn't Colin and Sabby say that they have like more degrees than Mike does? So Mike is just stupid. He's dumb. I can't believe he even did that. Like he needs to, I hate to say this because a lot of really conservatives say it, but I feel like he needs to kind of just stay in his lane. Like the LGBTQ activism is where he needs to stay because that's where he's at. He's part of the LGBTQ. Like, just stay out of like race issues. It's not his thing. He just doesn't need to say it. He needs to be quiet. He shouldn't have even said anything. Like, I don't even know why he decided to reply to her. That was really, really dumb of him. Especially with the shit lib part or the dipshit part. Like,
I mean, he's not the only one that reacts in such an ignorant way too. So,
right.
But Colin says, please watch this clip from Brianna Joy Gray. You tell us how Joe Biden is not at fault for this.
Well, I guess this brings me.
Oh shit, this is 32 minutes long. We're not going to play that. But we'll take our word for it. At 32 minutes. But I think I remember seeing this. It's basically titled Biden's debt cancellation is likely to fail, ? But she can take the question mark off now, I guess. But he also goes.
Colin even said it in the comments section right there. Technically, he has 2 master's degree, but to him, he's a dipshit. Like, how fucking that's the stupidity on Mike's part because he assumes things of other people without even knowing anything about them. And there's so many people like that in the progressive sphere right now, and it's absolutely. I mean, it's been like that, but it's ridiculous that people just go out and make assumptions of other people and then name call based off of that assumption. Like, you don't even know who I am. Why would you say something like that?
I mean, it's not like they said, it's not like they called him a dumb bitch like Joe did.
Hey, Mike started it. Joe just finished it. That's all. It's the whole fuck around and find out thing, Mike fucked around and Joe helped him find out.
You're just saying, look, we told you this would happen. Like 30 people on this thread. I read this whole thing. 30 people on this thread said, we told you, you dumb fuck. And then he's calling people dipshits. Look at that ratio. Wait a minute. There's an app for that.
Ow.
Listen to that. That's what he gets for this ratio. Stupid asshole. So anyway, the information has been out there regarding student loan forgiveness since September, and you failed to do your research. I remember that too. I remember this was like a few months back. They said, that they're running into legal troubles with this, and Captain Beard says, I heavily criticize Biden's implementation and means testing of this plan. You're not privy to insider knowledge no one else has, LOL. But you're using this as an opportunity to punch left. Like, who's left? What, Biden?
Like, Mike didn't punch left by saying dipshit. He started it.
You're punching air. You're not punching left. There's no way.
Yeah,
if you're punching Joe Biden, there's no way you're punching left. You're punching right. At the he's a right-wing motherfucker.
Yep.
But you're using this as an opportunity to punch left and virtue signal rather than virtue signal. And you said that what virtue signal? He said everybody knew this was coming except you, Captain Beard and Glasses. So, you know, and so this, I highly encourage you to read this thread because it's just fun to hear the responses. I'm gonna put this in the chat so anybody can. If you're on the tweeters, you know, be sure to check that out at your convenience. But yeah, I just thought, you know, you're gonna call highly educated people like Colin and Sabby dipshits. That first off, you have no idea that means you've never seen or heard either one of them on any sort of podcast or on their own shows and speak about this stuff. Or two, you're just, you know, you're the one who's the dipshit. You know, that's what it just sounds like to me. That sounds like some projecting ass shit. So anyway, I know we like to keep things fun around here, but I had to defend my my brother and sister for having to go through that shit. I'm really sorry that you had to go through that, Colin. And Colin was on JB's show today, and Colin went off, and it was glorious. It was delicious. I was like, nom 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 nom. I was Cookie Monster with that stuff. I was just nom 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 nom. Me want more nom nom nom. So anyway, yeah, he got ratioed on everything he said. Every time he commented, that shit got ratioed to the roof and back. So but yeah, so and that's what you got to do. You know, you got to tell these people, look, you fucked up. You know, make amends. Don't be calling people dipshits. Apologize. Move on. You know, be a better person than what you are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's nice to see that. I always like. Me and Colin had a fun time on Monday too on the show. You know, it's always a pleasure to talk to Colin. I told him on the show. I said the first time I ever heard about Colin was when him and Franco were at the Capitol, you know, when they were shouting down AOC and Cori Bush, you know. It was the first thing I ever heard him say, what about the 10%? That's my Colin yelling impression. What about the 10%? He doesn't sound like that in real life. I'm just saying that's how he sounded. And it was, you know, recorded. You know, it always makes your voice a little bit weird. So anyway, I was like, who is that cat? And then he ended up joining INN, and it was like, oh, great. You know, great guy. And he just, him and Reef do a hell of a good job on Wednesday nights on INN News. And that show is starting to grow too. And that's what I love to see. There it is. Wait a minute. What about the 10%? You know, it's good to see like shows like yours taking off like it's doing, shows like INN News. It's just wonderful to see folks that you love and respect start to have a little more success, start to build a following to your shows, you know, just like all these crazy people that show up to this show on Saturday nights. You know, it's wonderful to have them in the house, you know, and to talk to them in the chat and whatnot. It's just, you know, I liken this show to be like it is a true after party. Like you go to a party or something, right, and it's starting to wind down, but then there's always like that handful of people that's just like, keep the night going. We keep the night going. There's always that one cat says, hey, I got weed and beer at my place. Come on over. And then you do it. And you have a nice little quaint gathering at the place. You know, you're passing a joint or a pipe or whatever, you know, you're drinking, and, you know, sometimes somebody will pull out a guitar and start playing, or, you know, you're just telling, you know, you're just shooting the shit. I love little intimate parties like that. You know, I mean, I like a decent sized party, whereas like there's a lot of people that you know, but you know, those after parties, especially if you're a night owl and you just don't want the night to end, you know, those are the best ones. Always like those. So, yeah, it's cool. Do you ever do that? You ever go to a party and then go to an after party somewhere like that?
In my 20s. Not anymore.
Right. No.
No.
Oh, because you're so ancient. You're just like, you're dust. That's why you can't go outside in the wind, because you'll just blow away. Is that what it is?
No. All my things are at home. So by like 9 p.m., I want to be at home with those things.
Now that's the last place I lived in North Mississippi, I lived in a cottage, right? It was like a guest house off the main house. It was great. And usually if there was going to be an after party somewhere, it was going to be usually at my place. And because, you know, I had like 3 couches. God, I miss those days. I had a waterbed too, but that's a story for another day. But I had 3 couches there, you know, people would come over, you know, and we'd smoke out or drink or whatever, you know, and it'd be like 3 or 4 in the morning. Then finally it's like, oh fuck, I got to go to bed, you know? But it was just nice to have that little extra at the end. Like if you went to a bar or something like that, like a lot of times we would go like to karaoke on Friday nights, right? They had that was our big karaoke night. A good crew of us would go down there. We do karaoke, just get fucked up. And then there'd usually be like an after party somewhere. There, you do like the pregame, you do your pregame, and then you go out to the bar or whatever, do your thing, and then you go post game and just extend the night like that. But I couldn't do that now. Yeah, I would be just like, no. No. I probably wouldn't even make it to the main party. I would be like, okay, I'll meet you afterwards. It's like 11, 12 o'clock. I'm like, nah, I'm already home. I ain't going nowhere, you know? Mm-hmm. Damn, they calling out your age in the chat. Y'all ain't supposed to do that. That's rude. Calling up somebody's age. They said they're you know, they're comparing ages.
Giving my age away.
All right, but you don't look that age. Crab is 26, he said. So young. I got shirts older than Crab. I really do. I don't throw t-shirts away. They just end up disintegrating at some point. You know what I mean? Like kind of like men's underwear. That's kind of the same. When it just turns into a belt, you're just like, okay, that's all right. It's probably time to throw these out.
Yeah, get a new one.
You just got. It's just like a band. That's all it is. You're like, wait, where'd the rest of it go? I have detachment issues with underwear. Willie says, back in college, I used to have those after parties at my apartment occasionally till about 6 or 7 a.m. Then today I'm too old to do that now, right? I hear you. Les Boat says he's 86. Hey, you look good for 86, kid.
That's right.
You could run for office. They'd probably elect you just
right.
because you're 86. He said he was born in 1936. Jesus, you can quit lying and quit trying to get sympathy.
I know.
Jake and Bacon says, yeah, I can't do anything past 3 a.m. These sauce. I imagine I think that's supposed to be days, but it ended up being sauce. I can understand. No, it's all right. I got fat fingers. I do that shit too.
Yeah, by like 1 a.m. I'm done. I'm done.
That would be 4 a.m. for me here. So, yeah, usually, so Jimmy and I over the summer, we would talk a lot on StreamYard because we would do the show. We would do the Wednesday news show, right? And then but nowadays it's like she does her show and she has so much shit to do afterwards, and the only time we get together is doing this show. By the time it's done, it's usually like about 2:30 in the morning here, and I'm just like, and then you're usually, you know, because it's like close to 11:30 out where you're at, so you're like, yeah, I think it's time to go to bed.
Yep.
So
It's time for me to smoke my bowl and go to bed.
this is what they call easy money for Jimmy on this show, because she doesn't have, I do all the talking mostly. She doesn't have to talk that much. She can just sit here and smoke a bowl and go, yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, I couldn't do party houses anymore. My house used to be, I used to be the after party house because I was the dancer. So everybody always wanted to come and hang out at my house all the time. I got really tired of waking up in my living room and not having anywhere to sit because everything was taken up by a person. Like there was people all over the place. I mean, they loved the fact that I would make them breakfast. It was really fun to be able to sit there and hang out with your friends in the morning too. But no, I couldn't do it anymore. I hate having people over now. Like I just want my silence, my peace and silence with my animals, and I'm happy. Like I don't even let my kid come out of her hole back there. Like she just lives there.
Her hole.
Yeah.
She lives in a cave under the house.
That's
like,
right.
It's like a bat
Just got a
cave.
shower
You know?
in the toilet, you know, just some dripping water in a bucket, but it works.
There's a bookcase, but it's also a secret door, and she slides down some poles down to the cave, and she's actually Batgirl.
That's right.
You had a glass pipe break on you this week. That's what Yona said.
Yes, on stream too. I just got a new bowl for my bong because the down stem is, see if you look at it, the down stem is stuck in the bowl. I can't get it out. So it's turned my bong into a steamroller, and it's so hard to hit. And so I finally got a new one, and I was doing it during stream. I had just finished smoking a bowl, and I was emptying it out on my ashtray. And I have this stupid little ashtray right here, and it's got this alien head on top. And I was banging it out, and it just broke on stream in front of everyone. And I was like, you guys, I just broke my bong. And I was so upset. And I had to like clean up glass and shit on stream. It was crazy.
I've broken a bong once. It's like, I would assume it's like losing a child, but no.
Well, that's why I buy these bongs now. Because see, if you look at this one, you can't see through it or anything. It's made out of like silicone or rubber or something, so it doesn't break. I had to get it because I went through so many bongs within a year period that this thing cost me $75, and I've had it for 10 years now. It's the only thing I smoke out of.
That looks like it's pretty easy to clean too. Like you could break, that top part comes off. And then so you could get down in there.
This comes off and you can get down up in the bottom parts. Yeah.
How often?
Damn, people in the comments like steamrollers. That's crazy.
That's to
brutal.
roll.
That's a lot.
What, steamroller? What's steamroller?
Yeah. A steamroller is like a bong with no water.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, then you might as well just smoke out of a glass pipe then if you're going to do that.
It's usually shaped like a long dick.
Oh, so you're smoking out of a dick. Okay.
It's huge. Yeah, they're usually huge, and they can hold a lot of smoke. So that way you can gather a bunch of smoke, and then you just inhale that thing like crazy. They're massive. They're like this size. But this is like a steamroller. But see, I don't smoke regular weed. I put hash in there too. So it's like extra harsh. It's brutal.
John says, roll a joint gently down the stream.
I talked about that on my stream this week too when my bong broke. They're like, roll a joint. I'm like, no. The only time I ever rolled a joint was at an Ozzy Osbourne concert. And it was Ozzy Osbourne or was it Slipknot? I can't remember. It was one of those concerts, and the guys made fun of me because I rolled it so horrible. So I will never do it again. It embarrassed me so bad. I was like, I can roll. I was so drunk. I'm like, I can roll a joint. I can do this. This is easy. And I just start throwing the nugs in there without even breaking it up or anything and rolling it. And it looks just like a lump, a log. I was, here you go. We could smoke this. They're like, you're fucking stupid. You don't know how to roll. You're a liar.
I can't roll a joint either. I mean, well, for me, it's not practical because most of the time I'm smoking by myself. So I just usually just want to put like a little pinch in a pipe, you know, because I don't want to get too stupid. I mean, if you're at a party
like
or
little cigarette pipes.
Yeah. Like I have a, let me see if I got something here. I got this.
Practice makes improvements. Thanks, John.
So I got this little bad boy here, right? This is a glass pipe, but it's not like one of those little pinners like you see in the dugouts, you know, like the smaller ones. This is like a big fat daddy. So I can fill up the well here and I'm good for the night with just that much. So I have to conserve my shit. Otherwise I will smoke it all up in one sitting if I don't, you know, if I'm not careful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I used to take the one hitters to college. They were really good at college.
Yeah, I had one of those too. I still got it somewhere around here. It's a little wooden dugout, you know, and then just fill up the little reservoir with, you know, grind it up, fill it up, you know, and then just take out. And I had a little glass pipe for it. They come, most often they come with aluminum pipes. And I tell people, do not, if you can avoid smoking out of like aluminum pipes or doing like the beer can trick, you know, like poking a hole in there and doing that, because that's, if you know, that's how you get Alzheimer's, is smoking aluminum. So
if well, good to know. I'm gonna die of Alzheimer's. Great.
Well, but you smoke out of a ball. You don't do that every day though. I mean, some people they do. They smoke out of those aluminum pipes like that. That's just no bueno. If you're gonna get a metal pipe, get a brass one. A brass one is good. You're pretty safe. I don't
mind
there.
Getting Alzheimer's, like waking up every day thinking that it's like a new life and you don't remember anything. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like everything's a new experience.
I don't even know you anymore.
I'm sorry.
You said Alzheimer's, like all time, right?
How are you supposed to say it?
It's alls. You're leaving out the Z. You say it's all time. It's all time Alzheimer's.
But Alzheimer's sounds so wrong to say. It sounds dirty and weird.
It's like saying, instead of saying Asperger's, you say Asperger's. You know,
Asperger's. Yeah, it's exactly what I say. What? Do people say it regularly? Wait, how do you say Asperger's?
I say Asperger's because I don't want to say because I know me. If I say Asperger's, I'm gonna chuckle, and I don't want to make fun of people who's got the shit. You know, I just want to skim over that word and just be done with it. You know, because if I say Asperger's, I'm gonna go. It's burgers made of asses. You know, and then I'm off to Cancel City. You know, I can't be doing that. I can't get canceled over some stupid shit like that.
True.
But yeah, so you don't smoke the aluminum, otherwise you get the Alzheimer's, and you get the Alzheimer's.
The Alzheimer's, that's right.
At least that's what I was told. Look, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm not a fucking physicist or whoever studies that shit, but I'm pretty sure, like, somebody says, you know, you can smoke aluminum, it's gonna fuck you up. It's probably good, you know, if you, especially when you have plenty of options like a brass pipe or a glass pipe, you know, when you have alternatives like that, that's fine. So, and yeah, I wish I tried rolling a joint. I used to smoke hand rolled cigarettes, right? So, but I ended up having to get the little contraption to do it, and the tube paper. Yeah, Johnson, smoke your way to Alzheimer's.
That's right.
Yeah, don't smoke aluminum or you'll forget to cancel student loan debt. You think Joe Biden, that's what happened? Hey, Aussie Oracle, what's up, buddy? You think Joe Biden was smoking aluminum pipes all this time and
Probably.
oh, that's just terrible. But I tried doing the hand roll, like tried to like, put the thing, pinchy the stuff in there and and then you do this. Some people get this $1 bill trick, where they wrap it around there and they do that shit. I'm like, I'm not into circus tricks. I just want a cigarette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got the contraption with the tubes and the ones with the filters on the end of it. And that always seemed to work great, and it always seemed to pack it nice and stuff. I guess you could do that with pot too, right? You could use those contraptions for that. But that's the thing, you're smoking paper. That's the thing I don't like. Like, at least with a blunt, you've got you might have a tasty wrapping on there, but you're still smoking tobacco with pot, right? And when you're smoking a joint, you're smoking paper with pot. And I'm just like, I just want to smoke the pot. I don't want to smoke paper. I don't want to smoke if I want to smoke tobacco, I'll smoke a cigarette. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm just one of these people. I like to keep it. I'm like that group that sang that song. You got to keep it separated. Down. Mm-hmm. The Offspring. Thank you. I thought Miguel was gonna he was gonna say, "Oh, it's the Offspring, man," because he knows everything. Yeah, there he is. I knew he was gonna say that. I love Offspring. Hey, don't pay no mind. You're under 18. You won't be doing any time. Hey, come out and play. So anyway, sorry, I don't want to get DMCA'd. I do. Yeah, I got in trouble at a party one time for singing that because I was blasted. I was like 8 sheets to the wind. And the thing about me is, like, when I'm drunk, I'm usually the same kind of person, only I'm about 5 to 10 decibels louder, and I probably laugh a lot more than I should. I'm a pretty happy drunk, but I don't like being drunk. I'd rather be a sedate stoner who sits in the corner and just says, "What? Hey, Marcus is here. What's up, party people? Great show earlier today, sir."
Yeah, they were going on about the yay, all the thing with the yay and Judaism and all of that. It was really good. I've been waiting for them to talk about that. Like, I really want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed to the Political Matrix, they're on YouTube and on the Rockfin too. So be sure to check them out. Very, very good stuff. We got people. We got guests on the Rockfin. Laura Baza tipped $2. Pulling a Roger Meadows. Howdy from Houston. Well, howdy, Laura. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good time down there in Tejas. Down there. You ever been to Houston? You ever been to Houston, Texas?
Yes.
I've been there once. I was there when me and my buddy were moving out west to LA. We took I-10, but we took the southern route. So he had a buddy. My friend had a buddy in Houston who was an engineer, right? And so he makes that do-re-mi. So anyway, we get there and we go up to his house and we're smoking like this killer bud. It was like, we some po folks up in Mississippi. We smoking that Alabama ditchweed, that brick. And we got to Houston. It was like, hoot, everything's bigger in Texas, including the high. Shit, it was fucked up. So anyway, the dude had a Hummer, right? And I'd never been in. I was always like, this was around the time, 2003. So like, the war in Iraq was going on. Gas prices were pretty high, and this motherfucker had a fucking Hummer. And I wasn't a fan of Hummers, right? I was just like, look, that thing is just, it's too big, and it's like, it just drinks the gas. It's just awful for the environment. And then I got in one. I got in it, and I was like, holy shit, this is nice. It's like leather seats and just huge interior. I thought I was on the bridge of the Enterprise, right? From Star Trek. I was just like, it was like all kinds of gadgets and shit up there, and it was just like, it's like, oh, okay, I can't really say this is this is a bad thing. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty fucking cool. So, and then we ended up going to this country bar, right? It was kind of an upscale country, but it wasn't like one of these hole in the wall joints, you know, where there's peanut shells on the floor and a spittoon in the corner. You know, this was like these fancy dressed up people with like, $400, $500 cowboy hats and like boots and stuff. And they were, doing like the electric slide and shit like that. It was nice, but it just wasn't my place. I'm just more of a hole in the wall type of joint place, Yeah. But that was in Houston, and we did all that. We spent the night in Houston, and the next morning, we drove on through San Antonio and up to New Mexico. But and that next morning I woke up and my head was I was still stoned, and we were just driving. We were just like quiet for the first hour of the trip. We drank like 2 coffees, and we're just like, hey. It's like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was almost 20 years ago. It was crazy, but it was fun. That was a fun trip. I enjoyed that road trip out to LA, because we went through San Antonio and then we went up the west side of Texas. Texas is huge. It took us 2 days to get through Texas.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I took a public bus from California, where I live, to Austin, Texas, and it took us 3 days, but like a whole day was just made just to go through Texas. It was wild how big that place is.
It's huge, especially if you're going east to west, west to east, like through the middle, because that's the widest part of the state. And it was just, oh my God, it was crazy. And of course, my sister
went through Texas and hit a deer or hit a animal. What are the animals out there? Is it deers? Yeah, I think they have deers.
I think they have deer.
Yeah, because they have deer crossing road signs.
Was it a giant deer? Because everything's bigger in Texas.
I don't know. I know it fucked up her car though. She had like deer all over her car.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I hit a deer once too. I hit him in the ass, and because deer are stupid. Deer are like gamblers, right?
Yeah.
Deer will get so. The deer will get to the road and they say, "Man, fuck this! I can make it," and it'll get like 90% across the road, and then you end up hitting that thing right in the ass, and I think it. And I ended up tearing up my driver's side headlamp, the headlight there, and the turn signal thing. I had to buy a new bulbs and new housing for that, because that was just broke. But the deer, it wasn't like the deer took off. That was a tough deer. I wasn't like going that slow either. I think I braked. When when you see it, you see it out of the corner of your eye, you instantly hit the brakes. And this thing, I heard boom, and I was like, what the fuck? And I look out, and the deer's just taking off into the woods. No blood, nothing. It was like, this is like super deer.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like had a cape, had a D on its chest. That's not true.
It probably had some broken legs, but it still kept trucking.
Maybe. At least like a messed up hip. at the very least, I
Yeah.
would think.
For sure.
Anthony says a falcon flew into my trailer, but I didn't know where it went.
Ooh.
Falcon. I remember when I was a little kid, or I barely remember. I was like, I don't know how old I was. And we were in Mississippi. We still lived in Chicago, but we would come down to Mississippi for vacations because a lot of our family still lived down there. And we were staying in this house, this old house, and it had a fireplace, but there was bats, or a bat that lived in the chimney, right? And so I was always told, you don't want to get a bat in your hair, because the bat will like hold on to your hair or something. When you're trying to pull the bat out of your hair, it'll just like hold on and like tear your hair out. So it was me and my mom and dad were in there, and this bat was in the house. I don't know where it came from. And mom freaked out, dove under the kitchen table, was like, no, hold on to her hair. And she grabbed me and pulled me under there. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, if I knew what curse words were, I would have said, what the fuck's going on? What the hell are we doing under this table? And meanwhile, Dad's got this broom and he's chasing this bat around, trying to chase it out of the house. It was a whole scene, man. It was like, that was crazy.
That's crazy.
That's what happens. You live out when we stay in somewhere out in the country like that. John says, deer hit my new truck. Even though I stopped, it jumped into my bumper. Took that with it, bucker.
Oh my
John,
God.
you don't have to use the asterisk, man. You can curse in this chat. We're fine. Even though it's Sunday, we ain't at church. It's fine.
Jeez. I've never hit an animal. I mean, like, I've had like, you know, bugs, but that's about it.
I hit I can't say though. It's too sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. And I felt
know.
You don't want to know.
No.
All right, I'll save it.
If it's a pet, I don't want to know.
Well, I don't know if it was a pet. It may have been somebody's pet. It wasn't my pet, but I hit an animal on the highway, and it was very very traumatizing to me, you know, because I love animals, and it was just terrible. But you know, if I see a snake in the road, I'll run that motherfucker over. I don't care.
That's food.
I'll aim. I'll be like, fuck you, snakes. What was?
Yeah, my aunt would run them over on purpose, and then she would run them over back and forth a couple times to make sure they were dead. Then she'd bring them home and cook them.
Yeah, they depend on the snake too. Some people would skin them and make like if it was a rattlesnake, cook them. She would stretch out the skin on wood and with nails and stuff and let it dry. Yeah, let it dry out. And people, they make like snakeskin like boots and belts and stuff like that out of it. So I don't want to kill a snake, you know. I just don't want to deal with snakes at all. So, but if snake's gonna be near me, it's either me or it that's gonna get whacked. It's gonna be that snake. So, but I would see, like, driving along the highway, you know, it's one of these rural highways, you know, it's not like a 4-lane thing. It's a 2-lane thing, but you'd be driving along and all of a sudden you see like a turtle out in the middle of the road, and you're like, oh shit. So I'd make sure no cars were coming. I'd pull over, I'd get out, pick up the turtle, help it across the road. Cause you know, turtles are cool. You know, they just chill, you know, they're like a sloth with a house on its back. And, you know, you don't want to see nothing happen to them. You know, or puppers.
It's Dodger. I think the cat's playing in the bathtub right now, and Dodger's not used to the sound. Come here, Dodger. Come here.
Yeah, let's see Dodger.
God. the evil monster. Come here, buddy.
Shake and Bacon says turtles are a stoner spirit animal,
Growling at me,
right?
picking him up.
I
There we
think
go.
turtles are the stone. Oh, look at that, Mr. Puppers. Who is your puppy? Hey, your pupper puppy. Hey, Dodger.
He just growled at me the whole time I picked him up. He is so evil. What's up,
Because he
dude?
wants to give you kisses. That's why he wants to give you some kisses. What's up, puppers?
He is so bad. See? Did you hear that?
He's looking for lady. Ladies
yeah, he
is
hates me. Yeah, right.
But you're
That's
not-
his bitch, not me.
yeah, ladies is lady friend. So
You say hi.
look at you, Dodger. You look like a
So
Swiffer without the pole.
For real.
What's up,
He
Ed?
just
Good to see you.
growls.
Yeah, there's too many animals out in the country. The two things you would see in the flattened out the road would either be a possum or an armadillo. Those are the two
I've never
things.
seen either one of those.
You've never seen one of those? Do you call them possums or do you call them opossums?
Possums.
The O you make the O silent at the beginning?
Is there an O in front of it?
Sometimes.
Good
I never
Lord.
understood that. Is it opossum or is it possum? But you say possum both times. And then why you got to waste an O?
Right.
Why you got to fuck with people and
It's
stick
the
an O
American
under?
language. I mean, we add extra letters in everything.
It's like saying jar sandwich. Oh, the JAR is silent. You just say sandwich. Well, then when you fucking sticking JAR on there, you being an asshole. You're a linguistical asshole when you do shit like that. I'm just saying, and you're wasting my time where I got to draw an O when I don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I complain about the weirdest shit.
Well, that's kind of what pisses me off with the word no, because we put the K in front of it, so you have to have it. So or else it'd be now. So
Right. The English language is so fucked up. I don't understand how people who come to this country and have to learn English do it.
it's hard.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn it's a Native American word, opossum. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, thank you, Laura. He's not precious. He's evil. I promise.
I know, right? Oh, you're out of here, Laura. Thank you so much for the tip. Have a good night, sweetie. Yeah, so you would see usually those two. Every once in a while, skunk. But usually you could tell if there's a skunk coming because you get that whiff, that initial whiff. You're like, oh shit. This was in the days where you roll up the window and you're like, turn off the air conditioner, turn off. You close the
I have
vents.
the stuff living under my house, so yeah, I know the smell.
They it's like you're going through Chernobyl or something. You gotta wear a hazmat suit. And
yeah, it's really weird because they always used to say skunk, it smells like skunk weed. And yeah, from far away I can see how people can mix the two together, but when it's up close, when that skunk sprays within 5 feet distance, the way that it triggers your gag reflexes, the smell is nothing like I've ever smelt before. And it penetrates your skin pores and you feel like you've eaten it. It's really, really bad. And you can't stop gagging no matter how much you try. You can't stop gagging until you get to a certain amount of distance away from it. It's wild how different it is up close.
Our resident zoologist Miguel says, Google says the possum has a furry tail while the opossum has a bare tail. So maybe the O means no hair on my tail.
Okay. So there's two different kinds of species of those, kind of like a crocodile and an alligator.
Right, I guess so. I mean, well, that would make sense though. Okay, so now you're not wasting. Oh, actually, you're saving time. So instead of saying hairless tail possum, you just say opossum, and you're good to go, right? And that
Right.
I can work with that. It's the just throwing letters on there for no good reason. And you're right. As soon as you get up on a possum stank. Like when you get to ground zero of a possum stank, woo, it don't smell like weed. It smells like hot, baked, disappointing piss. You know what I mean? Like somebody just pissed in a fire and it just, it's just gross. Yeah. So, but especially, down south during the summer times, you would, it wasn't like road crews would come out and get the roadkill off the road right away. Usually sometimes it'd be there.
Possums aren't playing dead. It's actually a defense mechanism to make you think that they're dead, and they excrete the smell out of them so that you would leave them alone because you think that they're dead already.
Right, and it's was that you had that on your show, right? Didn't you show some about a possum on there? I saw that somewhere. I saw you were showing some video
about it. It might have been
about
because I just recently learned it, and I don't know where I learned it from, but I know that fact.
Maybe you learned it from an opossum, hairless tailed. I don't know.
It was just really intriguing to me to learn that because they're like scapegoats, but the possum world. It's really cool.
What's up, gamer? Good to see you, bud. Well, yeah, because I saw that same video. It's like involuntary. It's not like they decide they're gonna play possum. It's like it's just a reaction that's just ingrained in them, and then they just
like
they look dead.
The scapegoats do the same thing. Those goats that when they get scared they like stiff up and fall over. It's the same thing with those guys.
I've never heard of that. What they're called? Scapegoats?
Yeah, that's where the term scapegoat comes from. Are these like little goats that when you scare them, they stiffen up and they all like fall over, and they're really fucking cute how they do it. It kind of sucks though because that puts them at the bottom of the food chain, because if they were trying to run from a predator, them falling over like that actually makes them extremely easy prey. So a lot of them are being taken care of by humans and stuff because of their lack of I guess Darwinism. They didn't evolve.
Yeah. Do they get blamed for a lot of stuff?
Oh, I don't know.
They like, man, this dish broke. Oh, I think this scared goat did it. Oh, the scapegoat did it. Wait,
Yeah,
my wife's
they fall over so you can escape.
my wife's pregnant, yet I'm sterile. God damn you, scapegoat. And the goat's over there just like, what, me?
Get your hand off my penis!
Yeah, it's just like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't bone your wife. Come on, man. Who ate the last pizza? You know what? If I'm ever in a situation where I'm being held up by a cop and said, "Hey, were you at the bank that just got robbed?" I'm just going,
That would be the best.
Let's see what the cop does. He probably just end up shooting me and call it a day. Just, we don't want to deal with these kind of people.
Out as a legend. We would call you Scapegoat Warren. You wouldn't be War Deer. You're scapegoat.
It'd be scapegoat Jones. He,
Right.
he gets blamed for everything. Poor scapegoat. Speaking of goats, wait a minute. Let me see if I can find this. This was oh wait, hang on a second. This just in. We got Shane Coughlin on Facebook. What's up, Shane? Says, hey,
What's
just getting
up?
back. He said, hey, just getting back from Jeff Epstein's party and saw you were live. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for stopping by, good sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I hope you behaved yourself at Jeff Epstein's party. I'm just kidding.
Now he's at the after party where anything goes, where we blame goats for all our problems. But I want to show
that guy got like the short end of the stick when it comes to his name. I feel so bad.
the scapegoat.
No, Jeff Epstein.
oh. I'd like to say, well, what'd he do? Is he a scapegoat too?
No, he just got the shitty end of the stick on the names. Like, could you imagine your name is exactly the same name as the dude that didn't kill himself? It's crazy.
Yeah, that would be that would be kind of bad. I mean,
Right?
you know,
Right?
it'd be like if your last name was like Hitler or something like that. You're like, oh, that's you should probably
It's gotta
change.
suck. I know.
You should probably change that, bro. You know?
Yeah,
Wait a
I
minute.
mean, I probably would. But I mean, he probably likes it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, probably doesn't even think about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's what if your name's OJ Simpson too? You know, you're and you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah, just unfortunate names. But these this popped up on the timeline the other day. These are wait, hang on just a second. So these are Nigerian mini goats. Okay, you ready? Ready for cuteness overload? Here we go. Oh, look at the little peepees. Oh
So
my God. Look at them. Look how tiny they are.
Oh my goodness. I'm in love. They're so adorable.
I know, and we used to raise goats when I lived down south. I mean, they weren't that small, but like when when they're first born, they're pretty tiny, and but they're just so cute, and they just go. They make that little, you know how kittens do when they're little. They just make that high pitched squeal instead of like an actual meow. Oh, it's just really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was it? Speaking of that, well, not speaking of that. Sorry. Back here. So I sent you that thing this week about, you know, how that it was this week, right? The $8 blue checks rolled out on the tweeters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so what's been happening is people have been buying these $8 check marks and pretending like they're drug companies and Lockheed Martin and oh God, I should have made a list of those Eli Lilly, and just tanking stocks. So what was it, the one about it was Eli Lilly is the one that does the insulin, right? They make the insulin.
Yeah.
So the Eli Lilly, somebody spoofed Eli Lilly and said, "Yay, we're giving away insulin for free," and then the stocks went like they lost billions of dollars because of it. And then the same thing happened with Lockheed Martin. What was the tweet? They said he said something like, yeah, we're arming like apartheid Israel and stuff like that. Just
yeah, they made a fake APEC one too that says we support apartheid.
Yeah, and so now it's so stupid, right? So now it's like, in addition to having the regular check mark up there, there's a little thing under there that says, it's like a check mark in a circle, I think, that says verified. So, I mean, I guess if people got the $8 check mark just to have the check mark, now it's just, you're paying $8 for just a worthless check mark now. So, because now they're trying to get around that. It was just funny to see that happen, that these billion, $1 trillion companies in some cases just losing billions of dollars because somebody spoofed them and told the truth.
Yep.
And it's really
the economy is not real, and the stock market is not the economy.
Exactly. And that if these companies actually did tell the truth, they'd lose billions of dollars. So now you know why they don't tell the truth. Yep. Because they would lose a
bag because of a few trolls on Twitter. I guess we can say thank you, Elon, because I fucking hate him, but thank you, Elon.
Yeah, or at least thank you, Elon, for allowing people to do that at the very beginning.
At least being dumb enough to not understand, like, you know, the good pros and cons of doing certain things on a website. So until, you know, you test try it, and people test tried it for him. So it was nice. It was great.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Now it's back to, you know, dividing people by class pretty much with those check marks. Casey Zarnomsky, I hope I'm saying your name right, is on Rockfin. Welcome, Casey. Casey says that Eli Lilly is partially owned by the Bush family. Oh, that makes sense. The companies get subsidies to stay afloat. Of course. I mean, the companies, big giant corporations, the banks, you know, right. They're always going to get a bailout.
Subsidies is free money from the government to them. So whenever you hear news articles that say Lockheed Martin got $50 billion in subsidies, it's literally free welfare money for these billion-dollar corporations, while our politicians go around complaining that, you know, $2,000 PPP loans is making inflation, or that people on welfare are abusing the system and stealing money from the government. But they can do that, you know, but then change the word to subsidy and it's okay. So
yeah, and it's just all legalese to skirt the fact that they are getting corporate welfare. It is straight up corporate welfare. And then, you know, these companies, they get these bailouts, and instead of actually like helping their employees and whatnot, they'll buy stock options that in turn make the company more valuable, right? So they're just enriching themselves. And anytime I hear somebody say like, "Oh, well, you want a handout from the government," I'd say, "Well, just call me a corporation then. All right, call me a corporation. Money, please, money, please." You know,
right? Well, that's what a lot of people have figured out and realized. Like, we go out and as us regular people, we go out and we look for a job. That means that we are under the people that are, you know, giving out the money. So we're just trying to work for a check. Independent contractors, if you can start making enough money, that's where you can start considering yourself a business, and then your assets turn into non-taxable or tax deductible items. And that's what they're doing, is turning themselves into a business while still claiming that their business is a human with Citizens United. So
yeah,
that's the trick they've learned.
They always bail out oligarchs and corporations, right? And it's a big old fuck you to working people too, right? They've been running this scam for decades, telling people, you know, it's basically them saying, know your place, right? Mm-hmm. Know your place, little peon. You're just nothing but a cog in the machine, right? But the machine is more important than you are, and it just pisses me off. I know so many people, myself included, that grew up poor. Like, we grew up dirt poor, right? But Dad he worked his ass off. He always managed, you know, to put food on the table, a roof over our head, clothes on our back, and give us an education too, right? But you shouldn't have to scrimp and, you know, just try and just claw at getting an education, or claw at getting food, or housing, stuff like that. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and said, well, I don't trust the government with government health care. I said, well, I don't trust the government with government health care either, but I know those motherfuckers can sign a check, and that's all I need them to do. Sign the fucking check, give it to the doctor, so when I go to the doctor, I can get my shit taken care of. I want my drugs, I want it to be taken care of, and I want to walk out of there knowing that all I got to worry about is feeling better, not whether I'm going to go fucking bankrupt from the $10,000 ride in the ambulance to the hospital, and then the whatever charges they feel like, giving you to justify, oh, it's going to be under insurance, it'll be covered, but you still got to pay co-pays and premiums and shit. Fuck all that. Fuck all that bullshit. If you really care about the productivity of Americans, you give them health care, you give them a place to live, give them food, give them the basics. And if they want the fancy stuff, then okay, yeah, work for that. You just, you pay for that out of pocket or whatever. But, you gotta give people the basics. Otherwise, you're just full of shit. Hey, Miss Kelly, good to see you, doll. No, we're just bitching. Dirty jokes and limericks are coming. Yeah. That's what she said. That's what she said. They're coming. Anyway, I don't know. I have a soft spot for people who are in situations like that. And now I know some scam artists too. I know people who really do, try to do things to, like, on the shady side, right? Just like, or greedy fuckers that they'll try and get as much money from the government that they can, that they don't need, and they're buying just all this frivolous shit and stuff, and they are not trying to get a job. I know people like that. There are people who desperately are trying to get a job and can't find one, or the ones that they do find are just garbage jobs, like when Biden brags about, oh, we added 700,000 jobs. It's like, well, yeah, how many did you lose in the first place, which was a hell of a lot more than 700,000. And these jobs are shit paying jobs. Probably most of them are part-time or like minimum wage jobs. And in some states, the minimum wage is just like, horrible. It's just unlivable. You have to get like 2 jobs. So,
yep.
Anyway, I'm off the soapbox. Sorry.
I love it.
This is a fun show. We're supposed to have fun, and like I don't know. I'm still kind of riled up that they went after my buddy Colin like that. I'm just because Colin's a sweet guy, super, and he really cares. He's a teacher. And we were talking about this the other night, how we worry about these kids that are in school now, what kind of futures they're going to have, and all this bullshit that they got to deal with as far as like, teachers trying to push some sort of agendas on them or something like that. Just teach them what they need to learn, right? And let them figure the other stuff out themselves, right? You don't need a school teacher to tell you about your sexuality or anything like that. That's something you figure out on your own, right? That's the whole point. It's a private thing for yourself, I'm not opposed to somebody who's like trying to help a child get through something, like if a kid's worried, it has questions about, when in regards to anatomy or something like that. I think they should teach anatomy in school. I don't think they teach it in school anymore, but they used to. They used to have anatomy classes. They should teach sex ed too. Like tell these kids how babies are made. They may be like, okay, if I do that, then that's going to come out and go into me, and then a baby comes along, and I don't want that. But a lot of them don't know. A lot of parents aren't teaching kids sex ed. My dad said, I said, Dad, where do babies come from? He said, go learn it on the streets like I did. True story.
Mm-hmm.
He was a nice guy, but he's old school.
Save yourself for Jesus or God until you find your husband. That was mine.
Yeah. The only time you find God is when you find out you're pregnant, and then you go, oh God.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Hey, Oz is here. Good to see you, buddy. They should teach common sense and ethics. Yeah, no shit, right? And teach you how to live. Like actual real, like real world business skills, like, you know, teach people about how to pay bills and stuff like that, you know, like how not to run up like crazy debt and shit like that in the first place, you know. They should teach that. I don't know.
Yep.
What do you think? You think they should teach? Am I full of shit? I don't know.
No, no, absolutely not. I agree. I was doing, okay, so I was taking math in high school and they kept bringing me up like algebra, geometry, algebra again, you know, like just making it harder and harder for me. And by junior year, I told him, I was like, look, I cannot do this math anymore. Like, I really am like struggling with this. And so they put me in basic math. And when I went to basic math for that semester, for that year of school, I ended up learning how to write a check. I ended up learning how to balance a budget, you know, balance your checkbook, and, you know, how to make payments on a mortgage for a house and things like that. I learned all that stuff because I took myself into a lower math class. So I completely agree. I feel like if we can just even stop trying to like make these kids super geniuses, teach them the basic things and let them find what they love and what they have a passion for, and then let them, you know, take on that experience of schooling to be able to gain the skills and talents that they need to perfect that.
Yeah. I mean, it's basic life skills, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, my parents taught me, like, my dad helped me get my first bank account. And things like that. He taught me, he was an auto mechanic. He taught me how to do like at least basic repairs on a car back in the days when you could actually repair a car yourself, where you didn't have, it wasn't all computerized. You had to take it to an auto zone or whatever to, you know, hook it up to the Commodore VIC-20 so you could get the shit fixed. You know, you could actually fix it yourself. That's why I always liked having old cars, because they didn't have the computer shit in there. I didn't want that shit in there. I wanted something, I wanted a stick shift in case the battery died so I could, you know, push start it. You know, that was always a good thing to be able to do with those things. Practical skills, you know, especially like out when you're out, like, especially when you live in rural areas, you need a lot of those practical skills because you don't have a lot of, you know, kind of the things that you get like in the city, the services that you can get in the city. That's a good point, Willie. Willie says schools should have a pro-tolerance environment without cancel culture, right? I swear, God love you, you're a parent. I don't know how you do it, having kids in school these days in 2022, right? I mean, much love to you. You see,
I don't listen to any of it. When she's like, do you know this friend? And I'm like, no, I don't remember them at all. No clue who they are.
Right.
And then she won't tell me the drama and I'll never hear it. So, and she's got a cell phone. She could talk to her friends about it after school. Like, that's the great thing about having cell phones that we didn't get back in the day. When we had drama at school, we had to sit on it all night long until the next day at school because there was a separation of school and home. Now with cell phones and FaceTime and everything, there's no separation of any of it. Those kids can FaceTime, like all 5 of their friends who are all having drama right now can all FaceTime at the same time with each other now and talk about it until 11 o'clock at night. So they're good. I don't need to listen to shit. She's got friends. If she needs me for something, she'll ask for it.
Yeah, my parents never, they never really asked me if I had problems or anything, because usually I didn't. That same thing. I'd talk to my friends, you know, if I had problems. Yeah. You know, it was. Now,
she needs help with like school work. I've offered that numerous times, and she won't let me help her. She wants to do it on her own, which I'm proud of her for. But if she ever needs my help, I'm absolutely more than willing to help her with her school work.
Shake and Bacon says skills training would be so much more useful. Almost everything after grade 9 is kind of BS for most working class people. It is, right? I mean, unless you're going to be an engineer or something like that, I don't need to know what a fucking cosine is. All right. You know, I don't need to know the square root of 647. All right. I get a fucking calculator. That's good. I don't need to go to school to use a calculator. You know, that sort of thing. I think when I was still in school, they still had home ec, right? And we always thought that was just a chick thing. That's all the girls did that. And the gentlemen who were not quite masculine would take home ec. And thinking back now as an adult, I'm like, man, I wish I would have taken home ec, because I would love to learn how to do some cooking skills more than what I learn now. I mean, now you could just learn on YouTube, I guess you could do something like that, but watch a video on how to make a creme brulee if that's your, that's your bag. But, back then it probably would have helped me out to learn how to do, and home ec, it was home economics. It wasn't just cooking. It was also like, I think home ec was also about like how to do like a home budget and stuff like that too. If you were going to run a house, that's what that class was for, to help you to do that. Now times have changed. Both people cook meals. Both partners cook meals. It's not like a gender assigned thing like it was back in the day. But to learn those skills, man, I would change a lot of stuff. I would probably go back in time and I would do that. Casey, that's a good point. Most professional cooks were men and still are too, but I wish I would learn how to do like the really cool fancy cooking and stuff like that, right. Oh, I know how to make a mean grilled cheese sandwich though.
Yeah, no, I love it. I want to learn how to bake. I love watching the baking shows, like the Great British Bake Off and stuff. I'm obsessed. I want to learn that stuff so bad. I even watch Nailed It to see if I'm like better than those people, and I'm not. I'm just like them.
I was I'm not a big fan of reality shows, but I would watch Hell's Kitchen a lot.
Okay.
When I moved here to New York, when me and my roommate, we would watch Hell's Kitchen a lot. That was kind of that. Amazing Race. Amazing Race was pretty cool. Amazing. You didn't really get a lot of drama in Amazing Race because there wasn't time for it. Just people were just running around, going from one place to the other. So it was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. But Hell's Kitchen, it was great because like to see these people just like putting these meals together, sometimes just on the fly. Like there would be competitions where you would like you only had like a certain set of ingredients and you had to make like 4 dishes out of it or something like that. You had to use a lot of creativity and whatnot. And I was just like, man, that's pretty cool. How that some of these people were like from all over the place. You had some people who were like sous chefs. You had some people that worked in like barbecue joints. You had some people that, flipped burgers. You had some people who they only cooked at home, that kind of thing, just from all kinds of walks of life. And they knew how to cook this stuff. They cooked a lot of scallops and risotto. I noticed that a lot. It was like every meal that they served. So they either had risotto or scallops or both. Right. So I always thought like, and he'd taste the risotto and go, oh, this is gold. It's gold. Just throw it away.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't watch him until like probably within the last 10 years or so. It was the only time I could start watching him. He was mean back in the day.
Yeah, it was great. He just cursed like a sailor too. There was the girl who does Big Brother, the lady, her name Julie Chen. I think she's married to Les Moonves. They were doing some spoof for I think it was for a late night show or something. I can't remember what it was for, but you've seen the memes or the GIFs. It's like he sticks 2 pieces of bread on either side of her head. He goes, "What are you?" And she goes, "An idiot sandwich."
Jesus Christ.
What are you? An idiot sandwich. I just thought that was so fucking funny.
Poor guy. How many times did they have to do that to know what to say when he asked them? That's sad.
I don't know. Well, I think that was scripted though. That was like something that was just for like a late night show or something. It was like that was all sketched out, but like the actual like Hell's Kitchen Those,
Well, there was
I
that
don't,
one season where there was the blind girl, and she made her first thing, and the first thing he asked is like, "Are you blind?" And she's like, "Yeah, I am."
why,
And
yes.
then like she made it pretty far in Hell's Kitchen, but I think somebody I guess like further on when it gets closer to the end, your enemies or like your competitors can pick what you have to cook to prove yourself. And her competitor made her cook a lobster. So she had to pull apart a lobster blind
Oof.
and she just couldn't do it.
What a dick. That's a dick move.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's a
It was.
competition, but I mean, that's lose-lose right there, you know. If you actually let them win, then you're going to lose, but you know, if you have an opportunity to make them lose, you know, you got to kind of do it. And then you're like, "Oh, you made a blind person lose? What a piece of shit."
Yeah.
You're like, "No, it's a TV show. I didn't know," and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like a super fan of Gordon Ramsay, but I always just liked it when he just yelled at the right people. Just doing some dumb shit, wouldn't listen for nothing, and he'd just go off on him. But I tell you though, my favorite show that he did was Kitchen Nightmares, where he'd go to these restaurants and help them out, and you would just see these gross ass kitchens, like the coolers. They'd open the cooler.
Yep.
It'd be just like mold and shit and like stuff that wasn't like wrapped up, and you're just like, ugh.
Yep.
Hot garbage juice, man.
He did one of he redid a restaurant in my hometown that I used to go to a lot. And the two guys that are in that were the owners of the restaurant that Hell's Kitchen or whatever Kitchen Nightmares redid are twin brothers that I went to junior high with that I've known for a really long time. So they redid this bar of these two brothers that I know. So that was really, really cool of them. The bar looks great now. They just don't own it anymore.
Right. They probably end up selling it, making a fortune.
Yeah. The guys are my age. I mean, imagine if somebody like me was owning a bar. There's no way I'd have it forever.
Not if you could flip it, you know, especially in this market. Yeah, I'd be getting rid of that shit.
Exactly.
There was this guy, his name, it was this restaurant on the Gulf Coast in Long Beach, Mississippi. It was called Chappie's, right? Seafood place. It was kind of a upscale joint for that area, right? So like if you went to the prom, like they'd have the prom down at the Coliseum, right? We didn't have prom at our high school. We'd go down to the coast and have it like this at this convention center, right? You know, fancy place. And a lot of times if you're going to take your date out for dinner before the prom, you would take them to some place like Chappie's, right? It was expensive and it was seafood and, you know, it was supposed to be good. I don't know if it was good or not, but that guy so Katrina hits the Gulf Coast, right? Back in 2005 and Chappie's gets wiped out. That guy, I think his name is John Chappie, is Cajun dude. He ends up moving to Tennessee and opening his restaurant up there. So, and he was on Kitchen Nightmares, right? So he was just a dick. He was like a total dick. Gordon comes in there and he says, "Okay, we need to change this, and this, you know, like the cosmetics of the restaurant, and then some of the menu, right?" So, and that's where that Chappie dude was like, got his pride up, right? You know, so because Gordon was like, he tasted some of the food, and it was just awful, just like, you know, nasty, just, I don't know, but anyway, and so he ends up telling Chappie that, you know, make these changes, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I think you're full of shit and you need to go." And of course he does go. It was like one of those rare ones where it wasn't like the person changed their mind at the end and said, "Oh, please, I'm sorry." You know, he said, "You get the fuck out." And Gordon said, "You know, you can kiss my black ass." And then he left. and then like, I think like 3 months later, the restaurant closed down because nobody was going there. So,
Yeah.
but they
what
aired
you
the
do.
show after the place closed. You know how it is. They'll shoot the shit and then they won't show it for like months later. Right. So it wasn't like people watched the TV show and said, oh man, that's a dog shit place, I'm not going there. And then it closed. It was just people found out on their own that it was a dog shit place. And, and then they stopped going.
Word gets around.
Yeah. You know, that's the best and worst, advertising you can get is, word of mouth. You know, if your shit's good, the word will spread, but if your shit's bad, the word will also spread. And, you know, and I hate it for these businesses like that are trying to start up. My sister tried starting up like a little sandwich shop, thing. And she ended up having to file for bankruptcy because it's a cutthroat business, right? You know, you got other, especially like if you're in a place that has like a lot of tourism and stuff, you know, if you don't have the right location, you know, location, you don't have the right location, you don't have the right menu, you know, you don't have the right personnel running the place or working at the place, you know, all those things have to come together to just break even at least, you know, much less make a profit. I don't see how people do that. You know, and around here, I've seen a lot of little places because the leases in New York have just, you know, shot through the roof. I'm pretty sure they have in California too. For these small businesses, they can't afford it, you know, so they move out of the city. They end up going to Long Island or upstate or maybe over to Jersey, and they could find, you know, a little better tax relief, with and also, you know, probably better leases, but then you don't have the foot traffic like you do in New York. That's what you're paying for, is you're paying for that fucking foot traffic to come through there, you know, but sometimes even that's not enough, you know. You ever think about opening your own like restaurant or bar or anything like that?
No, I couldn't deal with a bar. I couldn't deal with alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. I couldn't deal with them. And then with the restaurant, the food handling and all of that. No. Too much black and white papers. I couldn't do it.
Casey on Rockfin says, after working in a lot of bars and restaurants, I've noticed when a business like that is going down, watch Bar Rescue, and he's got it down. His warning signs are spot on. Oh yeah, I've heard of that show. I've heard of Bar Rescue.
Yeah, that's a good one too. He's mean like that. Hell's Kitchen guy as well.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes some of these people, they just don't get it. You know, they don't put two and two together. You know, I mean, they're trying to show you the way, and even you try the tough love, it's like, nope. You know, there was one, Gordon went out, it was in Arizona. I'll never forget this one. It was like a husband and wife team, and she was Karen before there were Karens. You know what I mean? She was just like, everything he said, she was always just like, well, that's just that. No, people love it this way. It's like, well, if they loved it this way, you'd be making more money, but you ain't making no money because you shit tastes like an armpit. You know, it's just like, take some, you know, swallow your pride, take some constructive criticism, make the changes, and then you make some money, and then you know that making money makes the pride go down really well. You know what I mean? But I always wanted to own a bar though. I'm not like a big bar, nothing giant, just like a little corner bar. You know, you come in, like maybe there's a back room where you play like darts and pool, you know, that sort of thing. And then like up front, you have like a little stage. People want, I'd have like a comedy night, you know, where people could do like, you know, just do, what do they call that? Where you're amateurs, you know, that kind of thing, and you could do comedy, or play music, something like that. I always loved those little places like that. I always just thought they were so quaint, and you could have a conversation in there. You're not you're not shouting above like this this club music where you're just like, hey, you want to go so what? You want to go to what? You can have, the nice mood lighting, it's kind of cool, Gamer says, I'd love to have a cannabis bar someday.
That would be cool.
The Cave on Franklin Street in Chapel Hill is kind of like, is that kind of bar. Oh, right on. There's a little bar.
I looked them up and had to Google some because I was trying to see if there was a coffee shop out here that would start doing that, sells like you could smoke weed, like weed and coffee. And I looked it up, and they actually do have weed, like coffee shops and restaurants and bars and stuff all over the country. So it's there. They're just few and far between, very few and far between.
Well, I mean, yeah, and as legalization happens in more and more places, you'll probably start to see more and more of those places too.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
Adams.
Most of the bars that I went to and the ones that I worked at, we smoked weed outside of it anyway. So,
right. Well, I mean, like, think of Amsterdam. You have the pot bars there. I would love to have a place like that here in the States. Where you go in and you have a menu just like you do anywhere else. You just want a little maybe you want a sativa, maybe you want an indica. Maybe you want to smoke it. Like the hookah bars. You could have hookahs there. And or if you want edibles, if you want to have a beverage with it too, just something very chill. I mean, I would totally go for that. I think that would probably, but it's how they're gonna do it. They do it like bars do, because of the taxes. They're gonna make you get a license, and so you got to pay the fucking license fees for that shit. And that's why you see a lot of places they only sell beer, they don't sell liquor because they can't afford the liquor license. It's just
exactly.
And then once again, if you're in a spot where you don't get a lot of foot traffic or people don't know about it, it's like somewhere hidden, and you can't advertise the place, it's you're kind of in a catch-22 sort of thing. It's like you've got the skills and the stuff to do it. You just don't have the place to do it. And if you had the place to do it, then a lot of times you don't have the skills to do it, or you don't have the quality products to sell too,
Yeah. It's a lot of upkeep too, especially like, cause, like I said, ATF, they'll come and do like, or alcohol, tobacco and firearms. They'll come and do random checks at your bars as well. So you got to constantly keep it clean, cleaning the bar in the morning and at night. And then every day you've got to pick up every single bottle, swig the bottle around, throw a flashlight on there, make sure there's nothing inside each bottle. Because if they come and they find even a speck inside the alcohol bottle, they'll shut you down. It's nuts how super, super picky they can get.
Yeah, it's almost like food inspectors too, so you get these grades on these restaurants, and a lot of times people, or at least they used to, I don't know if they still do it, but a lot of the times they just slip a little money to them, and get an A grade, and you got rats and mold in your kitchen type situation,
Right.
It's pretty sad, but
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would open a place in New York, but I think I would probably I would find like a college town, maybe somewhere like a smaller college town, not like one of these big ones like Gainesville, Florida, or Notre Dame or anything like that. Like one of like if I was to go back home to Mississippi, I would probably try and open something like that in Starkville, where Mississippi State is, where I went to school. Right now, they only have medical marijuana, but it's just a matter of time, because that state, Mississippi, is a weird place. right? It's the poorest state in the nation, but it's also the place where people don't go. It has the least amount of homelessness there, right? So it's basically in the buckle of the Bible Belt too, but you have gambling you have gambling now. There used to be your casino had to be on a barge on the water, that kind of situation. But after Katrina, they said, now you can put them on land. Now they have a lottery. So they have gambling, but you can't have weed like to smoke, because I've read a good bit of the Bible. I didn't see anywhere where it said that weed was a sin. You know what I mean? It's like, but gambling's okay, so, but I would do that. I would probably go to one of the college towns in Mississippi once it was recreational was legal. And I would totally open a cannabis bar there and do something like that. So,
that would be cool.
How you doing? How you holding up? You getting sleepy? You okay?
Of course, I'm stoned. I'm always sleepy.
I don't mean weed sleepy. I mean like sleepy. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah. I know you are. It's 2.
It is. It's getting close to the end of the road here. We have a really good crowd, and we got like 22 people watching right now. That is an optimum size classroom, right? I think those were your words, right? You just want to have a classroom size audience, and you're fine with that, right?
I'm happy. Oh, my friends in there, so I'm cool.
I know, right? It is. It's like hanging out with your pals, and then the cool thing is like new people come along, and then everybody's nice to them. This is one of the best. I mean, your show and my show, we have like really good chats, right? Our chat people are awesome. Because everybody's they're very welcoming of other people. And I see that in other chats too, but I just see it more so in here too.
Yeah.
See, and Willie's one of those people. He said, I've been telling people about this program. And the same thing, we tell people about your program too, Willie, because we're like small business owners, kind of, only we don't make any money. Right, but
exactly,
it's like, but we're small business owners who help each other out, right? We're not like competitors or anything like that. It's like, it's a big space, there's room for a lot of people, and we're all nice people, and we all like to help each other out, like I always tell people, go see Willie's show on YouTube, or go see Jimmy's show on Curb Roast there on YouTube, and Rockfin. Anybody, Marcus Cage from Political Matrix was in here earlier. Go watch the Political Matrix. It's all about spreading the word, because if we're not in this together, then we're just going to be separated just like everybody else, and then just sniping and backbiting and stuff like that. And there's enough of that bullshit. We don't need that stuff.
Well, you don't have to worry. You're going to be growing anyway, because Casey in Rockfin said that he's going to spread your word as well. So you're well taken care of. All by himself. He's a superhero. I have no idea who he is, but he's a superhero, and he's going to save you.
Casey's only saying that because I got their last name right on the first try.
Heyo. So, I can't even read the last name. It's so little.
It's Czarnomski. How do you think you would say that?
Sarnomsky?
Right? I said Zarnomsky, like Tsar Nicholas, but
Ooh, yeah,
like, and I think I got it right?
Like yeah.
Yes, Garland Nixon is a good one too. Garland was live earlier tonight too. There was a whole bunch of people live tonight. So at times, I guess maybe I'm getting old or something, but like Saturday nights to go out, but it seems like Saturday nights are great to stay in and watch good shows on YouTube, right? You don't have to watch mainstream media. You don't even watch the shitty shows that are on TV that you don't like. You can. I've come to find I don't watch any network stuff. I'll watch pro football. I'll watch the sports ball during the fall. but that's about it. Everything else I don't even touch. There's like some shows I'll watch like on Netflix or something, or on my version of Netflix. Yar, matey, I'll be whipping you with a cat o' nine tails. Sail the high seas of piracy. But the CZ, so it's Chut. So it's Charnomsky, right? Charnomsky. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Well, thank you, Casey. You're a very good person. We appreciate you. But yeah, the majority of the stuff damn pussy cam. Wait, what?
Get your hand off my penis!
I don't know why I did that. I can't do that, penis. Cat wants to be in the show.
Come here.
But yeah, you know, like I'd say the majority of the stuff I watch now is probably on YouTube. And it's independent content creators. It's and none of the bigger ones. I don't watch like Kyle Kalinske or that shitty Humanist Report or any of that shit. I like to watch my peeps that are good people, just trying to do good in the space, trying to, you know, provide information to people, you know, like, and we all have our roles, right? You know, we all have our roles in the space. Like me, I'm not a big on the news stuff, right? I used to work for news stations down south. I appreciate good journalism. That's why I do watch those who do it right, you know, who actually do investigative journalism, or if they're not journalists themselves, they have people on who are, that provide information. Because I learned a lot over the last 2-3 years just by watching these content creators, having these people on that the mainstream media would not have on, because they would tell you the truth, and you know the truth goes against the narrative they're trying to push, right? So we can't have that. But that's how you find out. And in the past, if you listen to people like that, you would be considered listening to conspiracy theorists and whatnot. And nowadays it's like, no, these are more like, you know, prophets and soothsayers. These fuckers know the future, because they actually know the truth about what's going on. And sure enough, you know, the shit happens. So anyway, I'm just I feel very fortunate, you know, to know you and a lot of the other content creators who are doing their thing. I like to do the entertainment more kind of stuff, you know, although every once in a while I'll go off on a rant about some serious stuff, but you know, we all got to get shit off our chests, right? You know, we got to,
Right.
you know, I'd say it's very healthy to vent. And if you have a channel to do that, and you have concerns about the world you live in, maybe just the town you live in, and the people surrounding you, you worry about the future. It's good to, it's good to know that there's safety in numbers in that respect, where, you know, we're all trying to, like, you and I both, I mean, you do like a pretty good bit of news on your show, but you do a lot of stuff that is more not news related, and is, you know, people like that kind of stuff.
News.
Yeah, it's a nice, it's a little bit of a distraction from the hardcore shit, but it's not so much of a distraction where it totally pulls you off of the stuff that you should be knowing about, you know? So
exactly.
It's a fine balance that's happening. So
yeah, welcome to my brain 24/7, trying to balance the world is ending and new shiny object.
Right. The Shake and Bacon, I think, has a good point here. It says all those late night comedy shows have gone to crap. I saw SNL steal a sketch from an independent comedian I follow on YouTube a little bit ago.
Yep.
They're all corporate hacks on TV these days, right? That's when you see something funny on Saturday Night Live, chances are they probably stole it. They probably stole it from somebody who's funny.
Charmin Blue Bear, like, funny commercial that this guy, the YouTuber, did, and they stole word for word everything and didn't even credit the guy.
No, I mean, you know, and because you know, they got all these corporate lawyers and stuff, so the guy tries to sue, you know, it's, you know, a lot of times they can just shut it down, or if they do end up winning a settlement, it's some pittance, you know, just something, just, you know, just shit. But Willie says sometimes I've done karaoke on my program, and it's scary when I do it. No,
I couldn't. I just couldn't. There's no way.
variety's the spice of life, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
You drink on screen, Willie. Like, of course, you got
Yeah,
like
he
the
does.
you know the liquid courage. I don't. So there's no way.
Willie got his wine. He's ready
right.
to go.
That's right.
I got a snoot full. I'm ready to blast these pipes.
That's right. If I had some alcohol, I probably would too.
I know. I do. Yeah. I mean, alcohol really is the karaoke drug of choice. Although I'll do a stoner karaoke too. You know, till I get paranoid. Then I'm like, okay, I can't do this one. I can't do this one. But
Fucking Willie.
you know what, Willie? I tell you what. And Jimmy, I'll posit this to you too. We can do a karaoke night on one of our channels. Why'd you cringe?
It's so scary.
I saw you went, Jimmy, we're gonna do karaoke. The only thing is, okay, there's one caveat there. Yeah, it's definitely for laughs, Casey. Ain't none of us are Michael Bolton over here. So or Celine Dion, but I mean,
we wish.
Jimmy might be. Jimmy's got a good voice. I usually like singing like Tom Jones or, you know, what's his name? Donka Shane, darling Donka Shane, the guy in Vegas. Damn, what's his name? Wayne Newton.
Oh, Wayne Newton.
I like the cheesy crooners. I like those. I like singing those songs. Nothing serious, and definitely nothing modern. It's got to be old school. But we'll all get nice and lit up in our own little way, and we'll have a karaoke night. The content creator karaoke, and
oh God,
it will be fantastic, and we will be laughed at, and it'll be fine, and we may make some people cry. Some people will cry. Well, yeah, because some people will cry because it's so good, or some people will cry because they're laughing so hard that the tears just flow. Exactly. And you know, so okay, Willie, you keep that in the back of your head. All right, you keep that idea. We're gonna definitely do that, and we'll get the whole hee haw gang together. We'll see if we get maybe get like JB in the mix, you know,
or says he's in.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We could do, you know what we could do? We could do like a Discord karaoke where you get on the voice channel on Discord. We'll open up the extra Bulla Discord voice channel there, and if you're brave enough, we got porn bots 69xxx.life. Hot girls here.
I was waiting for him.
Where you been, ladies? Where you been, girl? So that would be pretty cool. We open up Discord on the voice channel. If you're brave enough, we'll let you in. We'll invite you in. And then I don't know. I don't know if you got to provide your own karaoke music, or I don't know, because it'd be kind of hard. I'm not a karaoke dude, so I don't have like a lot of music that won't get this channel banned.
It would be best for them to either come in and then have them play it themselves off their computer, because if you try to play it, there's going to be that lag. So they'll want to do it from their own.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. So, and just make sure it's copyright free, you know, because
well, that's not going to happen.
We don't want to stay at the DMCA, you know, we don't want to do that. Yeah, Willie. I mean, you should get a Discord. It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't really know how to set one up. As my buddy Reef set mine up, and you know, but it's kind of cool. It's like an extra server. You know, you could get, you know, you could post a lot of stuff on there and stuff. So it's just kind of like a central headquarters for like a lot of media and stuff you could put on there. And like I said, you get, you know, people to chat on there and stuff. It's pretty cool. You know, I want to learn a little bit more about Discord too. So, and then we gotta get you one too, Jimmy, so you can, you know, have your own. You're kind of piggybacking off mine, which is fine. I don't care. That's fine. But I mean, at some point, you're gonna be a big superstar, and you're gonna forget about all us little people, and then you're gonna, you know, you're gonna need Discord when you have your thousands of you know, production people helping you out, you know.
No way. As soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I quit. I'm done.
Shaken says, I follow a channel that does YouTube karaoke and people can join in. I'm not sure how they do it, but they avoid copyright strikes somehow. All right, well, we'll figure it out.
Maybe because you're singing it? That's the
I
only
guess
thing
so.
I can think of.
Yeah,
Kind of like how Jett can get away with singing professional public songs or copyrighted songs on the YouTube or on his channel because he's singing it.
you know, I got dinged. I got a copyright strike because of him. I got it overturned. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like, he did so well on the cover that I mean, I didn't get DMCA'd. It didn't shut down the stream, but I got later when I looked on there, it said there was a copyright strike. I was like, are you fucking shitting me? No way.
Wow.
But yeah, so, you know,
Shows how good he is, though.
I know that's the blessing and the curse of having talented people on your show. You know, you got to watch out because they might be too good, you know, and then, you know, and then all hell breaks loose. And, yeah, copyright strikes suck for sure. So it's almost 2:20 here. I think we should probably,
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I every time we do this show, unless we talk about it beforehand, we really don't have any plans on this show. I do like the fact that it's just like free form conversation. We talk to people in the chat, and usually people in the chat have something good to say. Casey says, thank you. Your show is amazing. Thank you, Casey. You're amazing. Come on back and see us. You know, follow us on the Rockfin if you like. If you're comfortable on Rockfin, stay there. It's cool. You know, YouTube is fine too for a certain point, but I understand if you want to stay over there, totally cool. That's why we got all these different platforms. You know, we're also on Rumble. We're also on Facebook. We're streaming on Twitter and Twitch right now too. So we have all kinds of options for you to watch the show. Because, you know, you never know when one of these things is going to get shut down, you know. And I'd been talking about possibly moving this show solely off of YouTube and solely onto Rockfin, but you know, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how YouTube treats us on here. So I know Yona got his channel taken away recently, and that's not cool at all. Lost half his shit, he said. He's you know, but the good thing about Yona is he's super talented. He can always, you know, make up that content. You know, he has a really good show too. So I think Yona's probably asleep too. He's on Eastern time like I am. So he may have smoked too many weeds and then he passed out. You know? Or he might be in the chat now. I don't know. But I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Jimmy, you want anything you want to plug? What you got coming up? You got the regular stuff coming up. What do you got going on?
Yep, just my regular show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, over at KRTD. That's all I'm doing.
And They're on YouTube and Rockfin too. So if you want to if you want to check her out there, that's cool. See, might be doing a gaming stream tomorrow, not sure. I got a tech guy that's got to call me tomorrow about some stuff. He may not call, but if he does, I don't want to be in the middle of a stream, so we may just hold off on that. I'm hoping for Monday, for Extra Bulla, to have Comrade Misty on, Misty Winston. I love Misty. She's Colin's my brother from another mother. She's my sister from another mister. I've been on her show a couple of times. I was on a radio show when she had it too. So, love to have her back on. I haven't got a chance to talk to her in a while. So hopefully we can get that done probably around 7 o'clock Monday night, because I got early days at work for training coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 a.m. in Long Island City. Not looking forward to that. So, but if she gets to do it, she hasn't confirmed. She's got to see if she's going to do it or not. But if she does, that's what's going to happen. If not, we may just do a show, maybe a theme show about something political. Trying to keep that show a little bit more on the serious tip. Still fun, but no, this is the playground here with me and Jimmy. This is the fun house. This is where all the wild shit happens. This is where we talk about crazy sex toys and, how many ways you can, suck your own penis if you're limber enough, shit like that.
Jesus Christ.
Self-man. I can look down. I'm pretty limber. I'm limber enough to look down, but the crazy thing is, and I'll leave it with this. Yona, hang on a second, Yona. Wait. Okay.
Oh,
Yona.
yeah. Yona's having an after party right after your show.
Yona, put the link in the chat. I deputized you. Casey said, while taking a drink.
Yeah.
My conundrum is, if I could reach my penis, would I actually suck it? It's just me. And that is a quandary. That's almost a philosophical question right there. If you could orally pleasure yourself, would you do it?
Yeah.
Chances are I probably wouldn't do it. Just my hand would get jealous. So anyway,
They can share.
they can share. No, that's mine. No, that's And my left hand's over. It's like I got no dog in the hunt. I'm just gonna be over. I'm gonna make sure that you don't fall and plaster your couch. Anyway, this is taking a dark turn. I should probably not do that. So anyway, but I want to thank everybody who showed up tonight. Gamer, Miguel, Shake and Bacon, SFT, Casey, and Laura over on the Rockfin. You guys are awesome sauce. Yona, be sure to check out Yona right after this, and like and share and subscribe to his channel too. He's trying to build it back up, and we want to get Yona back in the mix there. Kelly, my love, always a pleasure to see you. And Anthony, we had Ed Heller here, and Velvet Trance, my doll, love you so much. B.S. Adams, Les Bones, good to see you, brother, and Brandy, and Miguel, and there's some other folks here. Willie, of course, Willie Bragg, good to see you. Let's see, 69 Triple X. Thanks. Dude, they were here a lot. 69 Triple X was hanging out. It was a good time for them, apparently. And let me see here. I don't know. I kind of hope we never get to the point there's too many people to shout out, because I love shouting out to folks. You spent your time with us this evening, you know, and hopefully we provided a fun experience for you. Shelly, good to see you. You know, that's what it's all about, you know, to kind of take your mind off the world for a couple hours and to just hang out with friends, talk, you know, just talk shit to each other and, you know, just have fun and just enjoy times. Because, you know, this world we live in is just kind of a shit world right now, and hopefully we can somehow fix it. But, you know, in the meantime, we just have to do what we can without, you know, going crazy. So anyway, Gamer, good to see you. And everybody else, if I missed you, I'm sorry. It only scrolls up so far, so, you know, I'm at the limitations of science and technology here. But thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out here. If you want to make a donation, our link trees are in the description down below. Mine is Extra Bulla. You can see it right there on the screen there. And check out Indie News Network. We got our year anniversary coming up. I believe we're doing something this Saturday. Well, Saturday the 19th. Yeah, so big extravaganza. Not going to spill the beans on what's going on. It's a secret. But we're planning an all-day celebration. I was working on some stuff today for that Saturday too. I'm going to have probably about an hour-long little special in there, kind of recapping some of the stuff that we do here at Extra Bulla. And yeah, I was looking forward to it. It should be fun. That's the 19th on INN on YouTube and Rockfin and a lot of other platforms as well. So anyway, I'm sleepy and rambling. I should probably let y'all go see Yona. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Miss Jimmy, I appreciate you as always. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And as always, we love all y'all. Appreciate you. Come back and see us next Saturday night. I'm not sure if we'll have a Friday night show again. Got some work scheduling thing and kind of figuring out. Once all that gets settled, we'll see about the Friday show. But definitely Saturday night is in the mix, so y'all can see Jimmy and listen to me just say some stupid shit. So with that being said, wash your ass and take care of yourselves and each other, and wash each other's ass, you know, if you're friendly enough. You know, I don't kink shame, you know. Get down in there. Sometimes you can't reach, you know. I have troubles with that sometimes. So, but I don't let anybody do that. Lula, thanks for catching the last 20 seconds. Good to see you. Or maybe you were here the whole time. That's fine. Anyway, we're getting out of here. Good night, everybody. Peace. Deuce. Peace, love, and soul.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Shut up, bitch!
Groovy.